In a shocking revelation that has rocked the very foundations of American diplomacy, a former high-ranking U.S. diplomat has confessed to a crime of unimaginable proportions, spying for Cuba for over 4 decades. Victor Manuel Rocha, a 73-year-old career diplomat who served as the U.S. ambassador to Bolivia from 1999 to 2002, has pleaded guilty to acting as a Cuban agent since 1981, while working for the U.S. State Department. This startling admission, made in a Miami courtroom, brings one of the most high-profile espionage cases between the United States and Cuba to an unexpectedly rapid conclusion. Rocha, whose initial plea of not guilty was expected to lead to a complex legal battle involving classified documents, stunned the courtroom by changing his stance and admitting his guilt. When asked by Judge Beth Bloom if he wished to change his plea to guilty, Rocha's chilling response echoed through the courtroom, "Your Honor, I am in agreement." With those words, he effectively acknowledged the U.S. government's accusation that he spent nearly his entire professional career working for the Cuban Revolution, betraying the very nation he had sworn to serve. The evidence against Rocha is damning, including covert recordings of him admitting to his decades-long espionage, praising the late Cuban leader Fidel Castro as comandante, and referring to the United States as the enemy. These recordings, obtained through meticulous investigation, paint a picture of a man who had fully embraced the Cuban cause, forsaking his allegiance to his own country. Born in Colombia and raised in New York City, Rocha seemed to embody the American dream, obtaining degrees from prestigious institutions like Yale, Harvard, and Georgetown. However, his meteoric rise through the ranks of the U.S. diplomatic service was fueled by a dark secret: his unwavering loyalty to the Cuban regime. In addition to his role as ambassador to Bolivia, Rocha served in various government positions, including at the National Security Council, for 25 years. He held postings in Argentina, Honduras, Mexico, and the Dominican Republic, all the while covertly passing information to his Cuban handlers. Even after leaving the diplomatic service, Rocha continued his treacherous activities, taking on a lucrative private consulting role as a special advisor to the U.S. Southern Command, the very entity responsible for overseeing Cuba. The investigation into Rocha's activities took a dramatic turn in November 2022 when an undercover FBI agent contacted him via WhatsApp, posing as a representative of Cuban intelligence services. Rocha, believing the agent to be a fellow Cuban spy, readily agreed to meet, divulging details about his time working as a secret agent for the Cuban government. In a chilling exchange, when the agent questioned Rocha's loyalty, asking, "Are you still with us?" Rocha responded with indignation, stating, "It's like questioning my manhood." These words, captured by the undercover agent, laid bare the depth of Rocha's commitment to the Cuban cause, a commitment that superseded any allegiance to his adopted homeland. As Rocha now faces sentencing on charges of violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act, wire fraud, and making false statements to obtain a U.S. passport, the impact of his actions reverberates through the halls of power. James Olson, the CIA's former head of counterintelligence, has condemned Rocha's actions as those of a traitor who betrayed our country and may never see the light of day again. This case serves as a sobering reminder of the ever-present threat of espionage and the grave consequences faced by those who breach the nation's trust. Rocha's actions have not only brought shame upon himself, but have also cast a long shadow over the U.S. diplomatic corps, raising questions about the vulnerability of our nation's most closely guarded secrets. As the American people grapple with this stunning revelation, one thing is certain: Victor Manuel Rocha's name will forever be etched in history as a cautionary tale of greed, deceit, and the ultimate betrayal of the principles that lie at the heart of American democracy.